Hey everybody, welcome back to Magic Orthodoxy. My name's David and this is a deck review. Today we're going to look at the Shifters deck available from Tannen's Magic. The Shifters deck were actually a deck of cards that were designed by a magician named Theron Schaub. He designed these cards specifically for professional magicians. These cards just feel really great in your hands. They're soft and they're just cut really perfect. And I think they're great for card handling and even for people who are like into flourishing. The box design is really simple. The front and back just has an ambigram. An ambigram is calligraphy that says the same word whether you tip it right side up or upside down. So it says Shifters and Shifters playing cards. And it does mention on the bottom these are the first edition. So these cards are available in blue. I have not seen them in red, which makes me to believe if they were to be released in red, they would be the second edition. The back design is the ambigram there in the center with a little scrolled calligraphy S and just a repeating brick pattern. And it's very attractive. It's very simple in its design. And I'm just a really big fan of that. I like simple design. I like things that are clean and have really smooth edges. All of the graphics that we're going to see, both the Ace of Spades, the Jokers, and the back design, all of them were designed by a Canadian artist named Kurt Schultz. This deck doesn't come with any gaffs, so there's no special cards included. It does come with two ad cards. You're going to get two calligraphy cards. One's just an S, and the other one is again the ambigram that says Shifters, whether you turn it this way or this way. You're going to get a really beautiful Ace of Spades, and it features just an exquisite swirl design logo, and it says Shifters there at the bottom. And then you're going to get these two, they're like little court jesters that are throwing kind of an arc of cards over their heads, and they're identical. Either way, you flip them. And then the court cards and the pips, they're going to be completely standard. Everything you would expect from a standard deck of cards. Standard colors, standard faces, all the way through. And these are great cards. I would recommend these cards for Magic. I would recommend these cards for playing cards, and like I said, they're cut really well. And if you want to know the truth, holding these cards, feeling the cut, and even their smell, I mean, you know what I'm talking about if you've done this before. They are very similar to White Lions. I would almost say they're probably, they're almost exactly the same. There might be one thing different, and I don't know if it's the, I couldn't tell you. I bet you the stock and cut are identical. I would be willing to make that bet. And here's the thing. I would actually recommend these cards over a lot of other premium decks. Decks like Blaine's decks or Madison's decks or even the Smoke and Mirror cards from Dan and Dave. And here's why. Not because the cards are any better, but just because with those decks, like with David Blaine's and Daniel Madison's and the Smoke and Mirror cards, those cards are all specifically made for the artist. You know, those decks are all decorated with the performer's initials. And so unless your initials are D&D, you know, or DB or DM, you're using somebody else's deck with their ambigram and their logo on the back, right? It's like playing basketball and you're wearing somebody else's jersey, kinda. So, I mean, if you want a deck that has that same feel and that same performance, but doesn't, pay tribute to another magician, and you just want something that's a little cleaner, but just a really good, strong, solid deck, then I would really recommend Theron Schaub's Shifter deck. And there isn't anything on them that says these cards, are manufactured or made by another magician or somebody else. I think when you do your magic, you want your magic and your performance to be about you and to speak for yourself. And as much as I love those other decks, there's just a little something about using another magician's deck, to do your tricks. I use the Smoke and Mirror cards only because my first name is David, just like Dan and Dave. So having a deck with D's on it, nobody else knows who Dan and Dave are, people I perform for. So having a D on the back of my cards, is perfectly normal. So unless your initials are the same as another magician's, maybe you might want to pick up a deck of Shifters and check them out. And like I said, they are available at Tannen's Magic. So that's the end of this review. As always, subscribe to my channel. You can always follow me on Twitter. You can always like my page on Facebook. Thanks. Bye.